Most women are at home, all of a sudden, auctioneers appear. That this house was put up as a mortgage, as a charge, and your husband failed to pay, and now we are auctioning this house. Have you ever been found on a road with a car and the repossessors come and take the car? You're told your husband took a loan. Why do men hide? There are people who have sold land without the spousal consent. You cannot sell matrimonial land without spousal consent. This is the episode, the biggest episode in this land matter. We are always not scared to tell you the truth. Welcome to Kote Explainer, episode 9. We told you and we assured you that we'll bring you 28 episodes on the Land Act. Today, we are dealing with part 7 of the Land Act, what is called charges. A charge is not the one for the criminal charge of Obado. A charge simply is a simple document. You take your title deed to the bank. The bank gives you money. What does the bank do to ensure it is guaranteed that you must pay? That title deed is taken to the lands office. It is charged there. The title deed is now registered jointly, you and the bank. You cannot sell that land. You cannot sell that house. You cannot transfer that house. Similar to a car, when you have borrowed money from any borrowing institution, a charge is there. So today, it's the biggest question about matrimonial home. Can you go to the bank, take the title deed, which is yours, you have worked for, and the bank tells you, no, go and get a spousal consent? Can you go with another woman and claim this is my wife, and you get a loan? Wives, are you comfortable seated? Listen, this is the biggest episode on the land law. Most women are at home, all of a sudden, auctioneers appear. That this house was put up as a mortgage, as a charge, and your husband failed to pay, and now we are auctioning this house. Have you ever been found on a road with a car and the repossessors come and take the car? You're told your husband took a loan. Why do men hide? But most men told Bramwell, even if I ask my wife that I want to take a loan using this property, she'll not agree. Then Bramwell told them, he'll talk to me so that I do an explainer based on section 79. Section 79 free. Listen. And Bramwell has brought it to you live. A charge of a matrimonial home shall be valid if any document or form used in applying for such a charge or used to grant the charge is executed by the charger and any spouse of the charger living in that matrimonial home, or there is evidence from the document that it has been assented by all such persons. Wacha niweke kwa Kiswahili. Ili uweke mali ya ndoa kama kitu cha kukupa pesa katika bank, lazima mke wako akubali na aweke kidole. Bila mke kuweka kidole na kukubali, hiyo consent ni bure. What is the importance of this thing, which I say it is the biggest knowledge transmission to people? You must get the consent of your wife before you put that property in the bank. Has this question ever been done? Yes. Let us go and look at the Environmental and Land Court at Kitale. That is Justice C.K. Nzili in June 11, 2025. SBM Bank Kenya Limited versus Jacqueline Kahanaka. What was the issue? In paragraph 2, she said that while the suit was registered under the name of, she was never aware that their land, their matrimonial home, had been charged to the bank. She said she was married under Luya customary law in 2004, and their marriage was solemnized in a marriage in church in 2017. Then the husband took a loan of 8 million without her knowledge. What did the judge say? The judge said in paragraph 22, in section 28, the Land Registration Act provides that spousal right over matrimonial home are overriding interests that may subsist and affect the same without being noted in the register. So you cannot get these rights at the land's registry. The judge moves on to say, in section 2 of the Land Act, defines the matrimonial home as any property that is owned or leased by one or both spouses and accepted by the spouses as their family home. That is the position of the law. The court went ahead and cancelled the auction and granted back the property to the family. That is in one case. The second case is the case of Kimaita, Bijiwe, Murukaria versus Equity Bank in the High Court at Meru, Civil Suit number 4A of 2020, Justice E.M. Muridhi. What are the facts of this matter? The plaintiff's mother, Lucy Kirumba Bijiwe, testified that she had no knowledge of the loan transaction and never signed any spousal consent documents. She denied any association with the ID, number, and signature used in the spousal consent. In this case, what had happened? The husband went and forged a spousal consent. He brought 2 women claiming that they are wives. They signed a spousal consent. He went to the bank. He was given millions of the money. Later, the real wife discovered and said, here I am married. This is the marriage certificate. What did the bank say? The judge said, the judge said in paragraph 27, the defendant did not dispute the presence of multiple purported spouses giving consents over the same borrower's properties. In fact, the defendant indicated that the deceased borrower introduced two spouses to them. This should have raised concern, especially because PW1 produced a marriage certificate. The bank's failure to investigate this inconsistency suggests lack of due diligence. It's not enough for a borrower to present a woman claiming to be a wife. The bank must reasonably verify that the person is in fact the legal spouse by requirements of marriage certificate, affidavit of marriage, other evidence of marriage. In this case, the bank neither sought nor obtained confirmation of marital status, nor did it reconcile inconsistent identities of the concerns. So the bank was trying to say we had two spousal consents. How could we know that these are fake women? The judge said the bank must know. Remember, Kote has always told you, you must register your marriage certificate. If the bank went to the registry or the registrar of marriages, that could have saved the bank. What did the judge do? In this case, the judge quashed the bank's right to sell and returned the land back to the matrimonial home, to the real wife. This is not the only matter that we have dealt with. We have very many cases. Let me give the import of this matter, lessons for this matter. Lesson number one, you must have a spousal consent. 2, if you present a fake wife, she signs a spousal consent, the DCI will arrest you and also the fake woman and charge you for forgery and very many other related cases. So as women, do not agree to be used as spouses when you are not. 3rd, those who loan property, Shylocks. You remember your title deed is taken to a Shylock? The Shylock gives your husband money without your spousal consent. Walk to an advocate, walk to court, and the Shylock will have to return the title deed in their possession. Equally, title deeds pledged all over. What is pledging? You have a debt somewhere. You take your title deed and leave it there, saying, give me some money, give me some 20,000. Immediately, in 1 month's time, I'll recover that money. That time is over. The consent of a wife is mandatory on matrimonial home. The consent of a wife is mandatory. You cannot sell, you cannot transfer. 5th, there are people who have sold land without the spousal consent. You cannot sell matrimonial land without spousal consent. This is the episode, the biggest episode in this land matter, where the law protects families, where the law protects wives, where the law protects children. Why is this law mandatory? A matrimonial home is where children are born, is where children are raised. Article 53 of the Constitution makes the best interest of the children available. Does this law apply backwards? Yes. Don't say that the sale agreement I have was there. Let me talk to the people in the diaspora. And this is a warning call. Have you bought property? Yet, through your relatives, through your cousins, through your people, yet that property is matrimonial property. You get a title deed or you have a sale agreement. When you come to enforce it, the real wife walks in and says, I was never consulted. For the diaspora people, the law has changed. The law is not that law the old time. The old time, so long as the title of the home is in the name of the husband, Dan Sanomari, the wife had no role in it. So people in the diaspora, check whether spousal consent was granted before you bought that land, before you bought that house, before you gave money to somebody. Check whether there was a spousal consent. If it was not there, you have wasted your money. You have dumped your money in a pit. We are always not scared to tell you the truth. A consent of a wife is now mandatory. Wakili Dan Sanomari.